Do you find yourself thinking about creating more than you actually create? I wanted to talk about this because I found myself doing this quite a lot lately. And I don't mean you're at work and you're thinking about drawing, because I think we all do that. That's pretty good to daydream about that kind of thing when you're at work and you're bored. But I mean when you've actually got the time, and instead of using that time to create, you are thinking about creating. And I think this is a really common thing that humans do. Because when we are just thinking about the thing, we can imagine this outcome in our minds that's everything we are dreaming of, everything we're looking for. We can imagine that the drawing is going to turn out a certain way, but then when we actually go to do it and when we actually commit to doing it, that's when we have to face that reality that we maybe have some issues or things we need to get past with our drawing practice. And I find myself doing this exact thing with painting. Some of you will have seen a video a couple of years ago that I did paint with me, and I did a nice background in oil paints, and I've always wanted to branch out into oil painting. Something about the medium just really resonates with me, and I find myself creating this dream scenario that I'm in this old English cottage somewhere, and I've got this massive studio with an easel and all my paints around me. I've got the dungarees on, and I'm creating this masterpiece. But I realised that I'm actually just mentally and that is a very common thing that I think artists do, because as I said, when you are just living in your mind, you can create what you want to see, but when we're actually going to do it, we have to face all of these drawbacks and all of these difficulties that are going to happen, and that's just the nature of learning a skill. So you might already be thinking, oh no, that's me, and don't worry, it's probably all of us at some point. But signs that you're stuck in this are that you're looking into buying stuff to do with that task, so you're looking into buying the pencils, you're looking into preparing overly for this practice that you are imagining. And I do this, like I look into buying easels and paints and paintbrushes, and I watch so many YouTube videos of people painting. I join Patreons of people who are great painters, Andrew Tischler, and all of the great painters, Scott Waddell, one of my favourites, and I just watch the videos while I'm drawing, and I'm thinking about painting, and I'm thinking about this dream outcome of these paintings that I have in my mind. But if I never actually sit down and practice, they're never going to come into fruition, and they're always just going to be this figment of my imagination. And I just wanted to make this video to help you see if you are stuck in this process with your drawing practice, because it can be really difficult to face your limitations with your art practice, because it takes so long to build a skill and it takes so long to be happy with what you're doing. And if you're anything like me, I'm the biggest self-critic and I basically hate everything I do, so sometimes it can be a lot more comforting to live in your mind and live in that make-believe situation where everything's perfect. But just be aware, if you're falling into this, take small steps. I'm going to try and give myself some advice here. Take small steps to put into practice what you're thinking about, whether that be not watching YouTube videos, not buying supplies and preparing, actually using the supplies you already have, using what you already have, using an old manky easel you've got in the garage, and just take those small steps towards it. It doesn't have to be a big thing, you don't have to think about creating this entire drawing, but just take that first step, and hopefully that will help you get out of that. So I'm going to be trying to do that. Let me know in the comments if you struggle with this, and I'll see you in the next video.